We are going to look at a concept which is called data mining and warehousing. It is something very simple, but simple if you understand it, and very interesting. You said most of the concepts we are going to look at, you have met in database. Have you done database management? Have you covered database management?
Yes, sir, we covered it.
Have you done database programming?
Yeah, we also covered that one.
Okay, so if you covered these two topics very well, you may find that most of the times we are going to look at, they are going to come back. I sent you a video some time back. Did people bother to look at it? Did anyone try to look at that video? Yes? Anyone tried? I'm saying Chisubi Hospital. Who's Chisubi Hospital? Ruanga,
Yes, sir, I'm getting you, sir.
did you try to go through the video I sent on the group?
Yes, the first tutorials, managed to go through them. And probably the introduction, although I'm not going through the entire tutorials that you shared the details of it. Thank you.
Now, from what you went through, when they said data warehousing, now you are in Chisubi Hospital there. If a colleague there says, I heard people talking of data warehousing, what comes to your mind? Or what did you understand from it? Can you share with us?
Actually, with that, data warehousing is mostly about analytics of data that can help in making decisions. That is based on data.
No, you are just complicating things. You are talking to a person in Chisubi Hospital. You are not talking to IT people. Just put it in simple terms.
A process of collecting data and aging data from the multiple sources into a single or a centralized responsibility.
But
is the meaning of data warehousing.
okay, that is what you got. You're working at Chisubi Hospital?
I'm using my friend's computer who is working in
Okay.
Subi Hospital.
Okay.
Yes. Please.
Someone else who can share with us what you understood. We are just sharing. John Mark, I'm saying John Mark. Who is John Mark? It seems the people don't take time to say. Do you know what you are doing the exams in January? This is a crash program you are doing, and it requires you to study a lot on your own, okay? Because we cannot cover everything in the lecture room. And yet you have to do a standard exam. Because we have to cover the whole content which is supposed to be in the full semester, we are supposed to cover it in a week or two. And you know we are going for festival season. So if I give you reading materials and you don't read, it's up to you. Okay. Let us think of a bank. At least all of us are familiar with a bank. Okay. What takes place in the bank? What takes place in the bank?
Transactions. Transactions happens in the bank. Transaction.
Before the transactions, how do you become a customer in the bank? Before you start transacting in the bank, what goes first?
You have to first register and get an account.
So in registering, so they are doing what? They are capturing your data, isn't it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a national medical store? Yes? Are people there or they logged in and they disappeared?
They are there.
We have heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens in a national medical store? Yes?
They store drugs as well as capturing their generic names.
It seems we have only Chisubi Hospital online. The rest are not there. We are trying to break down the hard concepts, and your participation is key. If you keep quiet, if I start using the jargon terms, all of you will get lost. That's why I want to break it down. We want to move from what we understand so that we go to the unknown. These things you know. What happens in a national medical store? NMS. Now, this is a problem with online lectures. People keep quiet when they are there. Because I don't see you to ask you face to face. Jeffrey.
Inventory management.
Yes?
Inventory management.
Yeah. National medical store, you're talking of inventory management.
Yeah,
When you
of
go
course,
to the
drugs are
national...
inventory.
Sorry? Someone will say
Yeah,
something.
like the drugs.
Yeah, what?
I was meaning like the drugs that are there are inventory, also called inventory.
No, don't use the term inventory. Just use the word drugs or medicine, right? When you go to national medical store, forget about the inventory. We are talking of the drugs that are stored there. And these drugs have different categories, okay? So it is these drugs that make it a national medical store. The moment you talk of a national medical store, you cannot say I'm going there to get sugar or I'm going there to get salt, okay? Mere fact I have said it's a national medical store, it means when you go there, you are going to get medicine. But now the challenge is the question comes now, which medicine? Okay, you get it now? Which medicine? You want medicine for HIV? You want medicine for malaria? You want medicine for cancer? Which medicine? So now there the question comes. It is a national medical store. That means it has different categories of medicines. But under these different categories of medicines, you are not going to collect all the categories which are there. The moment you walk into their doors and you say, I have come for medicine, the next question is going to be, which medicine have you come for? Okay. Then there you are going to say, I need HIV medicine, ARVs. If you say I need ARVs, then the person is going to go to the docket where there are ARVs and is going to give them to you. Okay. But this doesn't mean that all the ARVs are finished. No, it will give you only what you need and the rest will remain there for other people also to come and pick. Another person comes, needs ARVs, goes, he picks. And so on and so forth. Now, when this national medical store we are talking about is a warehouse. But this time it is a warehouse of medicine. When we talk of a warehouse, we mean a big store that houses. The word house, that's why we say warehouse. We talk of that big store that houses. It houses an object whereby this time our object now is the medicine. And it is being housed in a national medical store. So there we can talk of a warehouse of medicine. Actually, when you go to a national medical store, they are going to refer to their store as a warehouse. When they want these people, after making your order, they will tell you, go to the warehouse and pick your order. You have used these terms before, isn't it? Okay. After making the order, say, go to the warehouse, they will give you your order. So that is a medicine warehouse. Now, when you come to IT, the same thing happens with our data. We collect lots and lots of data from various sources. We can collect data about commodities. We can collect data about people. We can collect data about money, financial data. We can collect data about sales, and so on and so forth. All of this data is put into a store which is called a warehouse. So this is where now the term data warehouse is coming from. It means there's a place where this data has been stored. And this place is referred to as a warehouse. I am just using a layman's language to explain this, but we are going to look at the technical definition of a data warehouse. It has a technical definition. So we are just explaining it in the layman's language. Has someone got internet there and you search for us the word warehouse? Go to Google and search the word warehouse, not data warehouse, but warehouse, and read for us. Or if you have a dictionary, if you have internet, just search the word warehouse and read for us a definition of a warehouse.
A warehouse refers to a place where surplus goods are kept in a
Stop there.
systematic
Sorry, go slowly. A place where what?
where surplus goods are stored.
Yeah, you see now we have talked of the other medicine, the other store where the medicine is stored. Okay, surplus goods are stored. Continue reading.
Where surplus goods are stored in a systematic manner so as to keep their
Exactly.
quality.
Stop there. Let's go slowly. They are stored in a what? In a systematic what manner? Remember, I told you that if someone goes to a national medical store and says, I need medicine, the question is, what medicine? And you're going to say ARVs. The moment you say ARVs, because it has been stored in a systematic manner, they know where the ARVs are. And they are going to go straight to the docket of ARVs. They are going to pick them and say, this is what you need, right? So it is a, have you heard that? It is a systematic what? Manner. So let us mark those words. Continue reading.
So as to keep their quality, value, and usefulness intact.
So as to keep what? Quality, value, and usefulness. Okay, so I want to take this now back into our data warehouse. So it means we have a certain place where we are going to store our data, but this data is going to be stored systematically, okay? In the way that we are going to uphold the value of this data, okay? And the quality of our data. If you go to the bank, okay? The bank has where it is storing its customer details. The moment you go to the bank to open an account, they are going to pick details from you. And these details are going to be stored somewhere. Okay? So this is what we are talking of. The moment you talk of a data warehouse in IT, we mean that place where data is being stored systematically. That word is very, very important. There's a systematic way of storing data. We are going to look at that as we go ahead. How is that data put into a warehouse? You don't just put it anyhow. No. There are some models that we use. We are going to see those models of a data warehouse that we use to store data. Okay? Did you complete your definition?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone got something different from that definition? Okay. Now, from that, we are going to have now a working definition of a data warehouse. Let me share this. Let me share this screen here. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yes, we are able to see it.
So
Yeah, it is visible.
So that is going to be our working definition of a data warehouse. So anytime you are asked what is a data warehouse, so our answer is going to be a data warehouse is a subject oriented. Now mark these words. That's why I'm putting them in different colors. It is very, very important. A data warehouse is subject oriented. What does it mean? Subject oriented means that this data which has been put into a warehouse is specific to a certain subject. Remember, in a national medical store, we said there is only medicine. We don't expect to find sugar there. We don't expect to find salt there. No. It is subject oriented. The data which is stored in the bank has something to do with the financial information of the clients. Okay. You are not going to find their data concerning farmers in the bank. Okay. So when we talk of subject oriented, it means this data has to be pointing at a certain subject. Like when we talked of a national medical store, we said that data which is stored there is pointing at medicine. So any type, in the moment you talk of any type of medicine, we expect it to find it in a national medical store. So if the moment we don't find it there, then we shall be disappointed. We shall say, now where are we going to get it? If it's not in a national medical store, where is it going to be got? Okay. Then it is integrated. There's another term here. It is subject oriented, but at the same time, it is integrated. Okay. Can someone go to Google and find for us the meaning of the word integrate? What is to integrate? Integration. Google or dictionary, or anyone who knows the meaning, even if you don't go to Google. When we talk of integration, what do we mean? Like at Nkumba University, you can say all students are integrated into the university. What does that mean? Integration.
I think it means to combine.
You are combining, yes.
Combine with another to form a whole.
Okay, that is good. Someone else?
Combining two things or more.
Combining two things or more. What is Google saying about integration? Has anyone gone there in Google? What is Google saying about it? Any definition from Google?
Is the process of combining multiple components, systems, or processes into a unified whole.
Exactly. A process of combining. Yes, a process of combining multiple. That one is very, very important. That term, multiple. Now, you remember the National Medical Store? We are bringing various medicines into one store. Do you get that?
Yes, sir.
We bring Panadol, we bring ARVs, we bring I don't know what. All those medicines are found within the National Medical Store. Okay, and they are confined within one room. Okay, but what makes them is they are all medicine. Okay, they are subject oriented. That is all medicine. Okay, but now these are different types of medicines. You have got medicines made in, like, even if it's Panadol, I have heard there's Panadol which is made in Uganda, there's Panadol which is made in India, there's Panadol which is made in UK, but all of it is put under Panadol, right?
Yes.
Are we getting these terms? Okay. This is a working definition of a data warehouse. It looks short, but it has it all. Then, so you're saying a data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated. Then the third element, it is time variant. time variant. What does time variant mean? So when we look at data in the warehouse, that data usually has a period of time. Okay. When you go to a national medical store, you are going to say that this medicine has expiry dates. Okay. It has expiry date, isn't it? Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
They have.
They have expiry dates. But
Yes.
But when we come to our data here, the time variant now is not about the expiry date. Okay, so don't be confused about the expiry date of the national medical store. This is now different. It's not the one we are talking about. When we say time variant, it means this data has taken a period of time. Okay, so the data which we find in the warehouse is the data which happened, say, 3 months back, 4 years back, 6 years back, 10 years back. Okay. So here we are not talking of the expiry period, no. But we are saying that the data which we find, actually, as we are going to see ahead, you said most of the data we find in the warehouse is historical data, okay? Historical data, and we refer to as ORAP, online analytical processing, okay? Visit a motor one. Okay? I'm at home and now these kids of mine, I don't know what they want.
Maybe today they are seeing you are busy on something they are not used to do.
Actually, I was forced even to run around and stay in the cupboard. They have also come for me. Okay.
They love it.
Hey, do you still see my screen or it has disappeared? Can you
Yes,
still
we
see my
can
screen?
see.
Okay.
We can
It
see
is
it.
visible.
Okay. So we have been talking about the time variant. So when we talk of the time variant in data mining, we are not talking of the expiry period of the data warehouse. No. We are saying that the data which we put in the warehouse always has taken a period of time. It's not just that this data which we are working on now. So for example, if I go to the example of the bank, okay, I may deposit money today, okay, but that is the moment I go to the till and I deposit money, I'm transacting now, okay. So that is not the concern of a data warehouse. But tomorrow, when the bank looks into the records, is going to see how many people have transacted in this month of December. Now December has gone, say, 9 days. Okay. So now that is now that has gone into history. Now we talk of in the last 9 days. So we are not interested in 1 hour's time, but we are interested in the last 9 days. And this is going to give us some information. So when we talk of time variant, it means the data we have in the warehouse time has passed on it. It has taken some time. I hope it is clear. Okay. Then when we come to
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
I also had understood time variant.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, please continue.
I had understood time variant as a situation whereby when new data is added to the system or to the data warehouse, the existing data or the historical data is not overwritten.
Yeah, there's a lot. I've only gone a small bit of it, but there's more components of time variants.
It also remains.
Yeah, your network now. Sorry? Hello? I don't hear you well. You are lost.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, there's more elements of time variants, only that
yes, hello?
because of time.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yes, please.
The rest of the members
yes,
hearing
I've understood your.
Yes, sir. We're hearing you.
Okay. So we are just
I
introducing
can
these
hear it.
terms. I know you'll go back and read about them. Eh? Okay. Then we go to the next element, that is non-volatile. Non-volatile, that means that once data is in the data warehouse, okay? Now we have seen that our data now has been put in the data warehouse, and now once data is there, it will not change. Non-volatile, that means our data does not change. And it should not be altered. If we go back to the example of the bank, okay? Example of the bank. If I've put my money, if I've deposited my money today on the 9th of December and I've deposited 1 million, okay? That record has to remain there and it should not change, okay? It should not be altered such that even after 3 years, I can come back and I check my bank statement and it's still saying on the 9th of December 2024, you deposited 1 million, okay? So it should not change. However, there are circumstances when data can change, okay? But we are saying in the data warehouse, it should not do what? Change. And we conclude our definition by saying in support of management's decision-making process. So the goal, the major goal of a data warehouse comes here. The major goal of a data warehouse is here, okay? Is to support management decision-making. Have you studied decision support systems? Have you done that course unit?
No, we have not.
Or you are students of computer science?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. It is those of BIT who do it. Okay. So our working definition now of a data warehouse, we have said it is a subject-oriented, and we have explained what we mean by a subject-oriented. Subject-oriented means a data warehouse can be used to analyze a particular subject area. Okay, that's what we said. So for example, if we talk of in an organization, we can talk of the sales department. Okay, in a national medical store, we have talked of the medicine. So it is subject-oriented, it is integrated. Integration means that data from multiple data sources can be brought together. There is source A, there is source B, and when you bring these two sources together from different ways, so you are able to identify a product, and then we say these are ARVs. So doesn't matter whether the ARVs are from the source, they are made in Uganda, doesn't matter whether these ARVs are made in India, but the issue is these are what? ARVs. Okay. Then we talked of the time variant. In the time variant, we talked of the historical data, which is being kept in the warehouse. It becomes historical. And here we talk of things like data which has been there for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, a year, and so on and so forth. Or even data which is older than that. Okay. Then lastly, we looked at non-volatile, which we say that data in the warehouse should not do what? Should not change. Any question concerning that? Now let's look at the data where, yes?
I think it's clear, sir.
Okay. Now we have what we call a data warehouse architecture. Let me just try sometime. Unfortunately, we are not in a class for me to write on the board, but we can look at it. A data warehouse architecture. It is a 3-tier architecture, which has a top, middle, and a bottom. It is 3-tier. It has the top tier, middle tier, and the bottom tier. Okay. If people are taking time to read the things which I told you, these things you should have seen them. So we have the top tire, then we have the middle, and then we have also the bottom tire. So let us try to understand these three. We have okay. So this one is the top tire, and we have the middle, tire. Let me change the color of that one such it is visible. And then we have the bottom. Okay. So we are just looking at an architecture or the design of a data warehouse, how it is designed. And we call it a top bottom. So it can be a top bottom. So it can be a top bottom at the same time. It can be a bottom top. Okay. Or it can even be both top and bottom. Now, what do this mean? What do this mean? I know you people, you are on a crash program of the exams. So I'm trying to hit out just a few points that you may need in your exams. So better write them down. Otherwise, you might find them somewhere and then you faint. Hope it makes sense to you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So we are now dealing with a three-tier architecture. We have the top, bottom, and bottom top. Now, what is on the top in a database? Actually, when we talk of a top, bottom, we look at something which is structured, which is planned already. Okay? These are things that we do in our daily life. There are some things that you are going to do when you have a plan. Say, for example, if you are going to build a house, there are some people who build a house when they have a plan already, and they build using a plan. Okay? You know, I'm going to put a sitting room here, I'm going to do this. You have a plan. Okay? But there are some things that the plan comes along the way. There are some people who start building a house and the plan comes along the way. Like, I can give an example of the house I have at my farm there. When I bought the land, it was a bush. And I was like, why don't I put a small room here such that if I come, at least there's somewhere where I can sit to take a cup of water. So I called someone to build a room. So after starting the room, then I said, but now one room, what if I spend the night and I need to cook? Am I going to cook in the same room? And I said, you add a small store where I can cook from. He added. Then later on, I said, but now, if I come with my car and I'm going to sleep, can my car stay outside like that and I sleep in the room? I said, you add another room where my car can go, a garage. So there the plan is coming along the way. Okay? I didn't have any plan. So that can be a bottom, top. But the top, bottom, it means you have a plan. Do you get the two? One way You begin with a plan of the house, you have it. In other words, you don't have a plan and you are just doing things the way you want. So when you talk of a top-bottom approach, it starts with an overall design and planning. That is a top-bottom approach. It begins with an overall design and planning. And this one, top-bottom approach, when do we use it in the data warehousing? So we use it only in cases where technology is mature and well-known. There are some organizations where you are going to work and you are going to find that people have technology already in place. There's nothing new you are going to invent, okay? So it means that you have to follow the plan of putting your data into a warehouse, okay? People know what to do. People know the problems of their businesses, okay? Then when we go to the bottom up approach, now that one starts with experiments and prototypes. I've given a scenario of the house I built at my farm. I was experimenting. I said, I need one room. Let me put a room where I can rest when I can. Okay? Then later on, I discovered I needed somewhere to cook from. Okay? So that is bottom-up approach. It starts with experiments or prototypes. And this one you can say it is useful in early stages of a business. Example I've given you my farm. That was early stages of the farm. Okay? But today when you go and you see the house which I have there, no one will believe that that house started with as one room. Because now it is a full house with bedrooms, with corridors, sitting room, master bedroom, but it started as one room. Okay? But today if you go there and I tell you things, I just forged the rooms along the way, you will not even believe it. Okay? So this is useful in early stages of business modeling and technology development. Okay? And it also allows an organization to move forward at a considerably less expense. Okay? Like the house I've told you, I was able to build this house at less expense, slowly by slowly, using little money. Now, if someone finds it today, you may think I used a lot of money. No, but just I went adding small things. So some organizations you are going to go to, they don't have too much technology. So don't take them so fast. Choose, am I using the top down or am I using the bottom up? Okay. But also in the third approach, you can combine both top, bottom, or bottom, top. There are some ways. Now this will depend on the type of data warehouse you want to build. Any question before I continue? Yes? Okay. Let's look at the process which you can follow when you are building a data warehouse.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Could you be having an example of how we can use both approaches?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to
Yes,
go
sir.
back to I'm going to go back to the house. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, I can make a plan of a house, right? And I say, this is the house I'm going to build. The architect has given me a house which has 2 bedrooms, then it has a garage, it has a kitchen, and so on and so forth. Then I have a plan. I even get the builders and I give them the plan to build. So along the way, as they are building, I may discover that this house has 2 bedrooms, okay? But the sitting room is too large. Now, I can give you an example. I have my brother-in-law. He had a plan of a house, and this house had 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms and 1 master bedroom, 2 bedrooms for the children and 1 master bedroom, plus a very big sitting room where even you can play football in it, because he needed a big sitting room. But after building the house, after putting the roof, he realized that he needed a bedroom for the visitors. but the sitting room was too big. So this time he had to cut portion of the sitting room to get a bedroom for the visitors. Okay, so you see how you can combine both the top down and bottom up. Okay, so the plan was already there, but now you are bringing in something. You are experimenting something. Hope that example clarifies it.
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, we shall see if time allows. Unfortunately, we shall not go. Time may not allow us to go into the practical part. But since I asked you in the beginning that have you done database programming and you said yes, you have already done the practical part. But otherwise, if your time would allow, have you used Oracle? Have you used Oracle databases? Yes?
No, we have not used it.
Or if you have not used it,
We use SQL on MySQL.
Yeah, that one is not bad, but I'll urge you, since you are computer science students, after your exams, in your free time, there are free online lectures. Go and read about Oracle. Okay? There are so many tutorials on YouTube and so on which can help you to design databases using Oracle. Okay? You'll enjoy it. Okay? Those SQL anyone can do, but Oracle, it requires real training. And institutions like banks are going to look, if you have Oracle training, institutions like banks will hire you easily. Hope the wise man has picked that, or a wise lady.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Let's look at the process that we use in data warehousing. Okay, now these processes which we are going to look at is how we put data into a warehouse. Okay, we don't just put data anyhow in the warehouse. No. Remember our first definition of a warehouse. It talked of a systematic something which is systematic. Okay, well aligned in order to get out the value. Okay, so there are steps that we follow. Okay. I'm not going to give you any handout because I know when I give people handouts, they start cramming to reproduce in the exams. I no longer give students handouts. So I expect you, as I talk, you note down various things. Good enough, I'm telling you that now I'm going to this. Okay? So now I'm going to the process that we go through when we are designing a data warehouse. So the first thing is, the first element, you choose a business process model. Who can tell us what a business process model is? Business process, have you ever heard of it? Yes? Or a business process. Okay, you can Google. Because I know still, even if I don't tell you, you'll Google. Or you go to ChatGPT. Business process model. What is a business process? Who can tell us? Anyone who has Googled quickly? Yes?
So is a business process modeling is the graphical
No, not modeling.
representation
No, don't go to modeling. You want a
of
business process model. That is it. Not modeling. They are different
okay.
things. There's a difference between modeling and a model. Or even just look for a business process. Just stop there. Forget about the model. A business process. But it seems we have only one person or two online. The rest
A
are logged in
business
and
process.
Yes?
A business process is an activity
Mm-hmm.
or set of activities that accomplish a specific organizational goal.
Can you please repeat it? A business process
A business process is an activity or set of activities that accomplish a specific organizational goal.
that accomplish a specific organizational goal. Can you please repeat it?
A business process is an activity or set of activities that accomplish a specific organizational goal. A business process is an activity
Exactly.
or big organizational goal.
Uh-huh.
That is it.
Okay. Now, if I may ask, what is the business process for Nkumba University? What is the business process for Nkumba University? Yes? Anita, are you there? Anita? Is Anita there? Davis? Seems the people looked on and disappeared.
Yes, I was there, but my baby's
Oh, sorry. The baby doesn't know that the mother has to study. Davis, are you there? What is the business process for
I'm
Nkumba
around.
University? Yes?
I'm around.
Yeah. According to the definition they have read to us, what is the business process for Nkumba University?
Because my network is disturbing me here.
Okay, even the one who has read the definition doesn't know the business process for Nkumba University.
Okay, I would say the business process for Nkumba University could be, okay, it is to train students in different professions through imparting of knowledge and skills.
Okay, you are right, but I would like you to turn it into one word: academics. Is it it?
Okay.
Without academics,
Yeah.
is there a university?
No.
That's why sometimes I make a fun and people think as if it is a fun, but I'm serious. That even if Nkumba University wins all the football matches in the world, okay? But as long as the academics are poor, still the university name will remain what? Down. Because what we expect of Nkumba University is to produce graduates, right? Not to produce footballers. We expect graduates who are trained and who know what they are doing. If Nkumba can't produce for us trained graduates who know what we are doing, even if you win all the football matches in the world, still, you will not have brought out your business because the major business process there is academics. Other things just assist, but academics, right? Are we together? So we can say that the first thing is to choose a business process or model for that particular organization that you are going to design a data warehouse for. Okay? So for example, if you go into an organization, okay? An organization may have orders for customers, okay? So they may need to store orders for customers. They may need to produce invoices. They may need to do inventory. They need to do accounts work. They may need to do sales. Okay? So now, now you have got where to start from to collect the data, to design a data warehouse, to design a repository where you're going to store the data. Are you going to store data basing on customer orders? Are you going to store data basing on invoices? Are you going to store data based on inventory? Okay. You remember we go back to the National Medical Store. We are storing our medicine, but we are storing it according to what? Are we storing it according to the country where it was manufactured? Okay. Are we storing it according to what it is choose? Are we storing it according to its name? So in such a way, we are organizing our data. Okay. So you have to choose the method of storage. but the method of storage is going to base on a business process. So now like we say that in Kumba, the major process is academic. Okay. Then there you see we have the School of Computing, we have SBA, we have and so on and so forth. So when you're designing your database, your warehouse, you have to put this into mind. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the second step is choose the grain. Now here in data warehousing, we have a terminology which is called granularity. Granularity. Have you heard of that term, granularity? So granularity means the grain of the business process. When we talk of a grain, we mean the smallest particle of the business. The grain comes from a grain of maize. You know that small grain of maize. Okay. You may have a full crop, but there's only one grain. Okay. So we look at a grain meaning the smallest particle of the data. Okay. Of what you're going to automate, the smallest particle of it. Say, for example, if you go to the bank, if I can give an example of the bank, I may have transacted the whole year, okay? But I may just look at just one single transaction which I made today, okay? I'm not interested in all the transactions I made, just one single transaction. The bank may have customers which are 10,000 customers. But now the interest of the bank is just in only one customer, and that is the single grain of the customers. He's not interested in all but just one customer. So the last part, the smallest particle of the data is very, very important. Okay? So as we are collecting data, we need to look at the smallest particle. Then the third, we look at the dimension. We shall look at the dimensions later on. There are some we shall look at the models of dimensions that we use in data warehouse. So the third we choose the dimensions that will apply. Okay, in our warehouse. We shall see those as we go ahead. They may not make sense now, but keep it in mind that the third thing is to choose the dimension. Then the fourth, we choose the measures. The measures, are you measuring your data in centimeters? Are you measuring your data in cubic centimeters? Are you measuring your data in meters? Are you measuring it in kilograms? Okay. So we have to give the numeric measure of our data. Okay. Any question concerning that? I'm moving very fast.
So for the units, for the units of measuring data for like a practical unit, how do you give, since data is stored in okay, we know it is either in megabytes or gigabytes. So what specific units are you referring to?
Yeah, no. We are not, this time we are not talking of those units you understand. We are saying, depends on the type of data you are collecting. You are going to store in your data warehouse, okay? So for example, if my warehouse is a warehouse of sugar, of course, sugar is measured in kilograms. Is it not so? So the units will be kilograms. Does it make sense? So the units depend on which type of data. You remember in your database management systems, when you are designing your database schemas, you remember you give the units. Okay, let's go to data.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, I remember we did them as data types for numbers or for
exactly.
text.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have brought it right. Data type. Sorry, data type. That is exactly it. Data type. What type of data are you entering? Exactly, you have brought it right. Okay. So we go to another element. Hope people are not yet tired because there has been long. We shall have our next lecture. I want to have at least 3 this week. Today we have had. Can we have another one on Wednesday at the same time? Is it okay?
It is okay, sir.
Yeah, when is that?
We're okay with it, sir.
Okay.
The same time, sir.
Yeah, when is that the same time? Okay.
Okay, yes.
Now, also, this is another subtopic which you can write down. That is data warehouse models. So, data warehouse models. Data warehouse models. So we can have 3 models of a data warehouse. And I want you to go and read about these models. I'm just going to talk about them briefly, but go and read in details about them. ChatGPT can help you. They are there. Data warehouse models. Some people are talking. I don't know what they are talking. Agabapo, what are you talking? Okay. Let's look at data warehouse models. The first one is the enterprise warehouse. Enterprise warehouse. So when you talk of enterprise warehouse, here we are collecting all the data, all the information about a subject. Okay? So all the information about a subject. That is enterprise. It collects everything. So you can go and read about enterprise data warehousing. The second model is called data mart. Data mart. Now, data mart is just a portion of the data. It comes also from the enterprise data. So we just pick a portion. Say, for example, I can say I'm going to design a data warehouse for only orders. I'm not concerned about invoices. I'm not concerned, but just only orders. Okay. Or just only about customers. Okay. So that is a data mart. Go and read about a data mart. Then we have what we call virtual warehouses. Virtual warehouses. So these are just operational databases. Okay. So we have seen three models. Can someone repeat for me the 3 models we have seen? The 3 models.
Yeah, enterprise, data warehouse,
Yes.
data mart, and virtual warehouse.
Yeah, those things are there. ChatGPT has them. Google has them. But please don't cram anything. Okay? Don't cram anything because you'll be surprised in the exam. You just understand those things. Okay?
Okay,
And
sir.
because you're computer science students, tomorrow you're going to be employed. Are you 3rd years?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So very soon
Yeah,
you're
3rd
going.
year.
Very soon you're going into the industry. And these are things you're going to find. So if you just use the ChatGPT to cram, you'll be caught off guard. And this is where I'm working. I'm an IT manager. These are things that I do now and again. Data warehousing. Okay. I manage organizational data. Because I'm country manager, I manage a lot of data all over Uganda. Okay. I manage a lot of data of all over Uganda. So you people also are going to do the same things tomorrow. Okay. But if you did not understand these things, if you just crammed, you are going to find it hard at your workplace. So better understand them and be able to reproduce them. Then we have another technical term here, which we call metadata. Have you ever heard of that metadata?
Yes, sir.
So in data warehousing, we have what we call metadata. What does metadata mean?
It means data about data.
Yeah, that's a good
or
definition.
It can be
a
roadmap to the different databases that you have.
Yeah, the best definition of metadata is data about data. What does data about data mean anyway?
Would it mean like a description of the data?
Yeah, in a warehouse, we define data, but we are using data to define data. Okay? Have you ever heard of a saying that it is good to use a thief to catch a thief? I don't know if there are some police officers online or the army, but someone told me that the best police officers are those who were once thieves. That they are easy, because they know the tricks of the thieves, they can easily arrest them. Is it true or not? So we can use data to explain data, okay? And that's what we call metadata. So in our warehouse, we are going to be defining the data, because remember, it's not you who's going to use this warehouse which you are designing. People are going to use this warehouse even maybe say 20 years after you have died, okay? Or 20 years after you have left the organization. People are going to use this data, okay? But how are they going to know what you meant? Say, for example, you put a red color. How are people going to know that you are not about because you are a noble guy and that red color has something it means? So you have to use some data to explain the data. And that's what we call metadata, data about data. So in some cases in the warehouse, we are going to use data to explain data. And we are going to do additional data. Okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir. It's okay.
Yes, sir.
You can go and read more about metadata, such that if you find it anywhere. Now, I want we end with this. Then next time we begin with what we call data mining. So I want to end with what we call the schema design of a data warehouse. The schema design. Have you heard of a schema design in database management? I hope you did this. Schema designs, did you? Yes?
Yes, we have.
You have done, how many schema designs did you study? Yes? Or you just passed the exam? Database management systems, you must have said schema designs. How many did you study? Hey, my students, come back.
We are available. There were many, but you like covered five
You tell
of
me
them
about those
somehow.
many. Tell me about 2, 3.
I've got the star.
You're on the right track. The star schema. Yes.
There is flat model schema.
Flat or fact?
Network model.
Okay. Yes, there are many. But when we come to data warehousing, we are going to use basically in databases, we have what we call the entity relationship data models. You remember those, eh? The entity relationship. But also we have the multidimensional databases. So for data warehousing, you are going to look at the multidimensional databases. And these ones are going to be subdivided into the star schema, then the snowflakes, and the fact the fact constellations. Okay. Hope these terms are not new to you. Are they new to you? Of course, the star schema is the star schema is very common. You know that one, eh? And the snowflakes. Those ones are very common. You have done database programming, right?
Yes, sir.
And when you have been designing those entity relationship diagrams, you have done the star schemas and the snowflakes, right? Hope I'm not confusing people. I told you from the start, this one comes from database management systems. Okay. So as we are concluding this class, I want you to go and read about the schema designs in data warehousing, the star, the snowflakes, and the fact. Let me write them for you down there so that you get them right. Can you see them very well?
Yes, sir. You can see them.
So there are three. I want you to, in your free time, read about those three. Okay. In data warehousing. Okay. Also, I've had a long day. I know, so you have had a long day. I don't want to go beyond this. At least we have had something to start from. Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
We shall have another lecture whereby we shall look at we shall do the data mining. We shall conclude the data warehousing, and then we go to the data mining. If time allows, we can go more into more details. As you see on the crash program, these things we are supposed to have studied them slowly by slowly so that we understand them, we do it. But this is a crash program. We are all aware of that, right?
Yes.
If there's any question, you can ask me. If there's nothing, then we can wait for the Wednesday lecture. We call it a day. Would you like me to share with you the recorded lecture? Yes. Sorry?
Maybe if you don't mind,
Mm.
I wanted some, you throw maybe some length about the top, middle, and bottom architecture. My network was off. I wasn't able to understand this well. Just maybe generally, you give a small explanation without giving the examples of the house, and because I joined in when you were talking about the examples of the houses. That one I understood, but like generally, what do we mean?
Okay, basically I just use the top, mid, and so on. But basically when we talk of a three-tier architecture, we look at an element in the data warehouse whereby we see that there is the users, okay? There are users, there are servers at the bottom. Now, when we talk at the bottom layer, these are the servers. Say, for example, in a bank, the server where all the information is stored, okay? That is the bottom layer of a warehouse. That is a database, which you are going to create using either Oracle or MySQL and so on. That database which you create, okay? That is the first layer, and that is the bottom layer. Okay. Then when you come to the middle layer, now the middle layer has what we call the transaction process. That is the database management systems. Okay. Those systems which you use to interact with the database. Hope you remember that from your, I didn't go into this because I thought you knew these things. Now, the database, remember, is the one at the bottom. But you use a database management system to interact with the database. Okay. And now that database management system operates at a middle. That is the second layer. But then at the top is now you, the user. Okay. You, the person now who is interacting. And there has a software tools like analysis tools, which we use. Also, the data mining, which we are going to see. The data mining tools also operate at that level. So at that time, at that level, you have the queries. Remember the query, okay? You can query the database to give you what you need. That is the third layer for the client, you the user. Have I summarized it well?
Yes, sir.
But you can go ahead and read about these things. Those things are available on Google, okay? They are available on ChatGPT, they are available on Google. The problem is don't cram. Read and understand. Tomorrow, you are going to be into workplaces and not even workplace, just the interviews. I have interviewed so many people for IT positions. These are things that we ask you, okay? Can you imagine if you reach at an interview and they ask you what is a data warehouse? And then you start scratching your head. Maybe that will be your door into the job, okay? And someone who has a retake is going to come and is going to define what a data warehouse is, and is going to take the job. And for you, they are going to say you bought the marks. If you are a girl, they are going to say, you know what they will say. Okay? So better read these things and understand them. Okay. Any other question?
So could you provide a link to the recording for a few of us who have not been able to attend?
But you have attended. Okay.
Yes, but there's a colleague of mine.
I'm going to upload it on my YouTube channel. You'll find it there. Yes? Do you know the channel? Do you know my YouTube channel?
With us.
Sorry?
Kindly share with us the name of the channel.
Okay, just go to YouTube and then you type in my names, Richard Kauma. Then it will be there. Of course, I'll upload this video. I'll put there data warehousing and mining. Okay, when you are there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. I think we can call it a day. Also, it has been a long day. I'm tired. And I'm sure also you are tired.
Probably. Thank you, sir,
Right.
for sharing with us this class.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
We shall see you in the coming class on Wednesday. The same time, shall we be using the same link or you should be providing another link?
I'll provide another link. I never made it as a recurring link. I'll provide another link.
We get you.
Okay, we meet on Wednesday, same time.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.